Yo, what up, y'all? Today we're looking at the Pilot Super Color Jumbo Black. This right here is one of my personal favorites, and I would for sure put it in my top 5 favorite markers. It comes with a killer black xylene base ink and a huge gravity feed metal body marker. There's lots of different ways to modify this marker for your preference, but it's a killer just as it is right out the box. Large, durable, square-shaped chisel nib that definitely gets up in those smooth, high-traffic doorways or the rough, cutty landmark spots. Just an all-around good marker for anyone, whether you're just starting out or an old-school head just getting re-familiar with a classic. Here's the Pilot Black refill bottle, and it comes in a 2-ounce refill. It does come with a small pipette, but I used that already. I do have another one right here, so we'll just use that. I will refill this and mod the nib, but before I mess around with that, I'll show you a couple tags I got with the used nib. Alright, so I'll show y'all how to refill this once it's all tagged out. And I'll also show you how to flip this worn down nib to get a new crispy chisel line. You just unscrew the marker body and pour your ink in, filling up the ink sponge. Remember, you're just filling up the ink tampon and not the actual marker body. This is different than a pump action marker. Alright, so now that you got the marker refilled, you got this worn down nib, and it still writes dope, but let's say you want to get some crispy chisel lines on your next mission. No problem. It's real easy to flip this around so that you can write with the fresh side of this Pilot nib. So all you're going to do is just hold it out like this and press the front side in. Pull it out from the bottom, and now you got the full nib out, and you can see that it's got a small pin under this lower side under the round plastic guard. So the first thing you're going to do is pull this pin out because it's not perfectly in the middle. So when flipping it, you're going to need to put it back in around the same length as the other side. Slide the plastic guard over to this side. Then you got to poke your own new hole yourself. I just make a fast hole, then try to hold it in place, and just press the pin through enough to hold itself in place. Then flip it and press it straight through. Alright, so now that you got the pin in place, just put this plastic piece back up under the pin, but you got to put it back in correct the same way it was on the other side. Now just put it back in long side first. Slide it through and you'll just have a little bit sticking out, just enough to reach the large sponge. If you got a dry pilot, you're gonna wanna juice up the nib for sure. You just gotta go slow and be ready for this thing to drip. So I'm gonna purposely overflow this nib so you can see what will happen, and then that way you'll be ready. You're just gonna keep your nib over either the ink bottle itself or the open marker, and just be ready to catch any overflowing drips. I'll hold it up like this so you can see the drips coming out. So when it's doing that, just wait until the drips slow down, flip it, and cap that sucker on tight. And there you go, a freshly filled pilot with a fresh chisel ready for action.